Hello everyone, welcome back to week 3 of our 1 week game series. Today we've kind of added a new game to our list here, a survival tower defense, and our puzzle game with lights that might actually change a little bit if we roll on that one from a viewer that's talked to me in my DMs. They kind of wanted to change up what type of puzzle game that would be, so it would be like a puzzle game with different characters. So if we do get that one, then I'll kind of explain that one a little bit more. But for right now, we're back with our same original kind of 3 ideas, and then we've just added the survival tower defense. So, like always, let's go ahead and give it a spin and see what game we're creating this week. And look at that, so it landed on top-down shooter with a boss. So awesome. This is going to be a really fun game, I think. Some sort of top-down shooter is always good. Probably have like a bunch of different types of guns, maybe some different enemy types. Who really knows what this is going to be? So I'm going to take a minute to kind of create a quick design document for you and kind of talk about some ideas that I have going into this. So I will be right back. Alright, and we're back with the design document part. So I've kind of just been running through a few kind of ideas in my head here. Of course, the top-down shooter, the main mechanics for this is going to be to shoot and to loot. Not entirely sure what the enemies are going to drop, whether that's going to be money or ammo or just stuff like that. And I have crafting on here. It's kind of a big stretch goal, unless it's something like very simple, like turning just one item into another, or maybe 2 items equal this item, something like that, because a crafting system can get pretty big and pretty crazy. And then of course we want to have different guns. So I'm going to try and aim to have at least 3. Probably start out with like a pistol, and then you get like some automatic gun, and then maybe like a shotgun, something kind of like that. I think would be a pretty good kind of base for my 3 guns, and if there's time I'd probably add some more as well. And then the next is kind of like what kind of features we want. So it's going to be level or wave based, I think. So some sort of way to just spawn enemies, and then they're going to just come towards the player, and you're going to have to just kind of survive a certain amount of waves. I think after each wave, we're going to let the player shop a little bit, whether that's stocking up on ammo or trying to get more health, something kind of like that. And of course we're going to have different types of enemies and multiple guns. The progression for this game, I think, is going to be just beating levels and stages. I was also kind of playing with the idea that maybe this is something more kind of like Left 4 Dead, where there is just one long continuous level, but there's checkpoints kind of between the sections that kind of act as like safe houses, so that would be where you shop. Something kind of like that. And then potentially upgrading your weapons, so maybe this will be a game that you can do successive runs in, and every time you die you can upgrade your weapons, maybe something like that, or while you're playing you can upgrade your weapons. And then our next thing here is our enemies. So I don't know exactly what our enemies will look like. We have to kind of keep this game still kind of playable for all ages, so I don't know if it's going to be zombies or aliens or bugs, something kind of evil to kill. So yeah, that'll kind of get determined probably by tomorrow. And then our enemy types is probably going to be a simple enemy that just chases you. So it just spawns in, knows where the player is, chases them. Probably have a ranged enemy. They're going to do pretty much the same thing, but they're going to stop at a certain distance and then start spraying us with acid or something like that. And then a charging enemy. They'll probably also do the same thing. They'll get to a certain distance, and then they'll kind of charge up a charge, and then run towards the player. Maybe when they hit something they get stunned. We'll kind of see how that kind of builds out. And then of course a boss enemy. So that's going to be our last thing that is going to be part of our win condition. Some sort of boss enemy that's going to have special mechanics. And then yeah, our win condition is going to be just survive all the waves and beat the boss. and our lose condition is just when you die. So when you take too much damage, then we're going to restart the game on you. I have a little drawing here of kind of how I think the game will play out. So you're going to be obviously here in the middle. I don't think I'm going to go with the top down where you're like this with your arms like this. To me, I don't know if I want that for my top down shooter. I think I'd rather have my player kind of look like this, and then have the enemies spawn from like almost anywhere on the map. That's what these kind of doors are here. They're going to kind of allow the enemies to kind of flood in, just so you don't have enemies spawn on top of you. That can always be kind of annoying. And then, maybe there's stuff like this, which are like our pillars, so you can kind of maybe break the AI a little bit and kind of ring the enemies around here. Maybe have some traps, stuff that not only hurts the player, but also can hurt the enemy, stuff like that. So I'll be right back in the next minute or two with a working prototype. And we're back with the prototype part of today's episode. So for top-down shooter, it's pretty simple. You kind of just want to click, and that's where your bullets will go. I also have a little bit of an enemy here, so they can come and kind of at least track us down. So there's a little bit of gameplay to kind of see. So let me go ahead and just kind of show you what's going on. So you have your gun here, this gray block right now that spins around, and every time you click, you can shoot and get rid of these enemies, and then they turn into like a little splat when they take enough damage. And that's pretty much going to be the whole idea of this game. It's going to be kind of just something like this. I do think it's going to be kind of wave-based, so every wave will be an X number of enemies, and then you'll just have to defeat all the enemies, and then you'll be able to like buy upgrades for your guns, maybe buy different guns, stuff like that. But yeah, so I think that's going to be more or less how the game's going to run. There is going to be different guns, there's going to be more enemies, and all that kind of stuff. I'm even thinking of randomly generating hazards and walls and stuff like that every time you play, just to make every time that you do a new wave, it's a little bit different and interesting. Anyways, I hope you're going to enjoy this game, and make sure to like and subscribe the video to kind of keep up with the process of this game. I'm also going to be posting daily updates on my Instagram, so make sure you follow that too. Other than that, I will see you in Wednesday's video for our next update.